now that we've gone through a couple of topics, we're going to discuss a couple of things. Really quick, so it's rare that we have the four of us here. Normally, it's just me and Ozzy. Um, Granted, we're both horrible at it, but we try our best. But right now, we have all four of us, so I thought it'd be a great idea to kind of like share a little bit about what each of us know. Now, all four of us have a sort of level of expertise in some sort of field, topic, interest, or just anything in mind. So, what we're going to do next is that we're going to ask each other some questions that we're kind of curious about in terms of topics or interest or anything that we have. We're going to try to figure out exactly what the other person, knows about these things. And yeah, so I'll be the first one to go. So Diego, my good friend Diego, is a fucking genius at physics. He's an absolute, how should I say, hell of a being in physics knowledge. And I'm going to ask you this, Diego, because I don't fucking understand this. And I've been wondering this for a while. And I need you to clarify why this is impossible, all right? Let's say I'm on the rooftop, right?
Yeah.
I'm on a rooftop, right? And theoretically, you jump off the roof, right? You come crashing down. So this is a person. This is a little being, and he jumps off the roof. Now he falls, right? He falls, and he dies, whatever. Now let's say somehow, some way, he's on the roof, right? And he has some sort of a platform. I want to say like a desk or like a maybe like a hold on. Maybe like a desk or like some sort of like something that he can hold on to that's strong enough that he can jump off from. So here's my thing. I've always wondered this. He's on the roof, right? He jumps off. He's holding the desk on him, and then before he hits, he jumps off that platform again. Now, I'm no genius, but I would think he wouldn't. Maybe he wouldn't die, but
it wouldn't hurt as bad. It wouldn't.
It wouldn't because in my mind it's like he's jumping off and he can jump off, like build enough momentum to press off that platform, jump off again, and lessen the impact from the first fall. Now, understandably, he's going at a really, really fast pace. But my theory is, would that fly?
Where would that fly?
Yeah, no. I mean, like, would that work? Would that be reasonable?
So it depends.
Now, explain to me, Diego, why I'm full of shit.
But no, like this is a good idea. So what you're throwing at right here is something with conservation of momentum. When you're jumping with some object, whatever it is, if you throw the object, it has an equal and opposite reaction to you. So if you push an object, the object pushes back on you. So when you're jumping off of that table, it's pushing you in the other direction. So the acceleration you have because of gravity slows down. So that allows you to not have a strong impact in comparison to what you would normally have without the table.
Okay, but the thing is, you have to create enough force to jump off, right? Because otherwise, if you're just falling and you don't create enough force, you just come crashing down.
You need a significant amount, so it actually, but any amount of force you push will counter you slightly, so you won't feel as strong of an impact when you hit the ground.
See, Ozzy, I'm not crazy. I knew it.
So even like when you think about WWE or AEW with the tables and they smack people, they like throw them on the table.
Yeah.
The table actually works as a cushion, because the table kind of pushes you on the other direction. So when it breaks and you fall down, you're not coming as fast down on the ground.
You're right.
So that actually, it might seem like, oh wow, the table hurt, but the table's actually a cushion.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's really interesting.
See, so I wasn't wrong. I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm more like, obviously, again, you need some sort of special, again, like counter force to jump off. Yeah. But my theory wasn't that far off. See, I know these things.
Good question.
I have a question for you.
Okay, and then I have one for Johnny. Go for it.
Okay, so I saw a movie a long time ago, a Disney movie, and at the end they go into a black hole and like it's hell. So I want to know what's inside of a black hole, and please tell me it's hell.
Hold on, when you say it's hell, you mean like flames and stuff?
Yeah, like in the end of the movie, like the bad guy. he goes into the black hole and he's just like in the middle of a fucking like
You're
cliff.
talking about
like,
Event
lava.
Horizon?
No, it was the black hole. I think it's called. It's a
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
movie.
So the event horizon is the point of no return. Like you're still not in the black hole, but you're in this point where like nothing's gonna come out.
I think you're talking about the movie, right? Event Horizon.
Yeah.
No,
But it's really interesting.
the black hole. I think.
We still don't have the answers to that. Like we know what a black hole is, but we can't analyze what's inside of the event horizon of the black hole because if anyone goes in there, there's no way for them to come back. But there's always the theoretical aspect of it because of the way physics works. Like, hey, what can be there? And so it's a lot of speculation. People always talk about the singularity, but in reality, singularity doesn't really fit into the mold of math, of the mathematical function for a black hole. So it's so much guesswork. But I mean, essentially, a black hole is just a star that is really dense, that nothing can escape it. But I wish I had a real answer for you, Johnny. I mean,
Let's go. Let's do it.
like I explaining how you physically experience what's going on as you enter the event horizon, then get closer and closer to the black hole. That's all understood, but what physically is there? I imagine if there was another universe where like you go right through and it's like a wormhole and then it takes you to a different part of a different universe or the same universe or whatever.
So what you're
And then-
saying is there could be potentially another podcast called Green Hoops
Yeah,
on some
green
different
hoops.
type of dimension.
Yeah, red
Everything's
hoops.
possible.
Everything's possible, Eddie. There's another
my.
guy, maybe not as handsome as you, Eddie, but like who's trying to do the same thing you are.
I mean, I know George Clooney. I'll tell you that much.
Look guys up or what?
I have a question for Johnny. This
What's
is
up?
actually something I've been really like just interested because when
I
I
may or
was
may not know.
my first year of college, I took a history class, and this class kind of went from early civilization all the way up to like 1000 AD, and we studied like how religion came about, how cultures came out, why things went the way they did. And one of the main topics to this class was how civilization started. And so there's a few theories behind it, and people try to establish like this one, like there's only one way that civilizations could have started. Johnny, do you think that the way civilization, like there's only one mold for how they started, or do you think like civilizations around the world could have started in different ways? I'm not sure. I'm sure you know way more about this than I do. I don't know if you can give me some insight.
I do think I think civilization started and stopped a couple of times, maybe
Ooh,
in different
that's-
parts of the world, and like, well, it depends on what people really consider civilization. I think it's when people the agricultural revolution, when people started learning how to make food, and so
a good
when you grew food, you had extra time, and that's when you had extra time on your hands. That's when you have time to think, and that's how the sciences and everything else grew out. Because before then, people spent most of their time hunting and trying to survive, and so everyone had to hunt and get meat and shit, and pick berries. But if you were able to plant stuff in the ground, it became more stable. Your bank of resources, your food. So when you became more stable, that's when civilizations arose over those like important areas. Usually they were like tributaries of like rivers and shit, or like by the coasts. So I think in some way or another, I think we're wired. It's not strictly historical, but like based on everything I've read, I think we're like wired at least to like have hierarchies. Not hierarchies, but like to organize.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes
That's a
sense.
good point. Yeah.
Isn't there a theory about how the pyramids got built? That there was this isolated civilization that is so advanced, but shit, how do I say it?
Ozzy, I mean, haven't
Never
you seen Yu-Gi-Oh? The pyramids were started by
yeah.
ancient.
I can confirm that shit
the
100%.
Like
dual-
by
dual-
Pharaoh Yu-Gi-Oh.
The answer
Yeah.
was dual monsters, Ozzy.
Shit.
You had to
That
battle
shows
your
historical
known.
facts.
It was right in front of me. The
You're
whole
getting it.
time.
But some people say like the pyramids and the Sphinx are older than they were, but I forgot. I haven't looked too into it, but I know it's almost like a racist thing where it's pretty much people saying that they don't think black people could have done it, or African people could. So it had to be someone else. That's pretty much the gist of that kind of stuff.
Jumping on that a little bit, Johnny.
Not that much evidence for other people than the Egyptians doing it.
Jumping on that a little bit, Johnny. The whole Egyptian thing. I know. There's a lot of like mythology or like fascination with Egyptian old Egyptian way of life or culture or whatever. Is there any truth to that, or is it all just
truth to what do you mean?
Like the whole myth of like spiritual, mumbo jumbo or whatever. Like the whole cats being royal thing, the whole mummy thing, like you know what I mean? Like
stuff, like super exaggerated. I don't know how like
yeah, okay.
How pervasive that stuff was.
Okay.
Like, okay. Like if they studied us and they thought like everyone was like back then. Right, it was just a small group of people, and back then maybe they were the only ones who left records.
40 years from now, it'd be like, hey guys, apparently there was this podcast called BlooHoops. So no one knows what it was, but apparently it was.
Apparently they're all gods.
They just cult.
They were all worshipped as gods.
Yeah. Especially that J guy. Too delicious. Oh
no.
Now,
that betrayed Eddie.
Now, I had a question for Ozzy. Now, for those that don't know,
think so.
Listen, Ozzy, I think you give the best life advice, man. Like serious shit. Like you're one of the few people I go to for life advice. So I wanted to ask you, everyone's in the whole quarantine thing. What would you recommend in terms of dating while in quarantine?
Oh, good question.
Dating in quarantine?
Yeah. A, good idea, B, bad idea,
I think it's a great idea.
Of course it is. But wait. I thought we were...
Because you literally don't have to take her out because the restaurants are closed. So you just say, let's go for a walk. And that's simple. You don't have to waste money. It's free. So, yeah. Dating in quarantine is perfect.
You see? Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I saw on the commercials, people are doing like virtual dates and shit on those apps. And they order food. Like,
oh, yeah.
Match.com.
Yeah.
Is this a virtual date, all four of us?
Hell yeah.
Are we all eating the same thing?
Hell yeah.
Hey, what the heck, man? Hook it up, dude. What the heck?
No. Here, I'll feed you guys off.
I just realized dude, we have a lot of shoes, man. What the hell?
Oh, yeah.
I barely have 2 pairs.
Got like 4 pairs.
I know.
My goodness. Man,
how about
the scarf?
And then below me, my ties.
Oh yeah. I dig that.
But
and the MJF scarf on the left.
Oh yeah. I remember you freaking like picked it out and you're like, wait a second, I know where that's from.
I can see that miles away.
No, dude.
My goodness.
I had my desk around, so it was facing the wall. So then it was all like how your room is, Eddie and Ozzy. But I just didn't. I felt so claustrophobic, so I had to switch it around and just be behind and more space. I feel better. I don't know. It's weird. Space helps me out.
Yeah, totally agree.